We're Invective Gaming, and this is our first impressions on Anthem.
And if you, at any point during the video, enjoy yourself or enjoy our content, slap that motherfucking like button. Let's get into it, Bane. I'm gonna start by naming off a couple things. My first impressions, then Bane will name off a couple things, and we'll just kind of go back and forth from there. So, gameplay, it's fun and immersive. I'm having an awesome time. I think it's just plays really well. It's really good. Flying mechanics, I think they feel great. The story is there. It's I feel like you need to listen to it. Like, if you're willing to listen to the story, it's there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of what I like about it so far. What about you, Bane?
The conversations in this game, like, they're probably my favorite part so far. But we spent a lot of time doing just talking to people.
Yeah.
Like, after every mission, if you look at your map of Fort Tarsus, you just see like a bunch of little spots of like text dialogue boxes. You go talk to any of them, and they're good. They add more to the story, and like Push said, if you're willing to listen, the story's there, even more so than, like, I guess, Destiny. But yeah, I love that. Conversations are great in this game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's a really, like, I kind of want to make a separate video on this, but I don't understand why the game is getting criticized for its story. Because personally, like, I mean, we're playing it more casually than most other people would be, but even then, like, I'm still, we're still grinding. Like, we put some pretty good time into it, would you say? Like, for starting out a game, like, what, 5-10 hours maybe? Not if 10, maybe that's a little generous.
We started playing yesterday, right?
Yeah, and then you streamed it for 6 hours, right?
Yes, we probably
yeah, so we have some pretty good time into it. And I mean, I still feel like we're really early in the story, and just talking to a bunch of people, like, listening to the conversations, like, just playing the missions, and, like, I don't know, it's feeling like a good campaign experience to me personally. Like, I honestly don't understand all the hate around it.
There's one thing I don't like so far, is that it doesn't seem like there's a lot of, like, ways to make your armor look different besides color.
That was actually a point that I had that I was gonna get to, but yeah, I agree. I think the lack of gear and not earning it in game, like, is a major downside though. That's one thing that I don't like.
Well, I wouldn't call it gear, because, like, gear is in this game is referred to as,
like, yeah, that's true. But in any other game, it would be your gear. Yeah.
There's a lack of, like, way to make yourself look different besides the color of your armor. Like, for me, I have the $80 version of the game, so I have the Legion of Dawn stuff, so my storm obviously looks different than Push's storm. But, like, other than that, there's nothing.
Yeah, no. There's one other armor set that you can buy, but
there's no way. Even if me and Push could possibly put our coins together, he wouldn't even be able to afford it.
Yeah, no, it's. Well, you can buy pieces, but yeah, like, we couldn't afford the whole set right now. Like, that's some pretty hefty grinding, and I think that's not really a good sign. Starting out, like, because we're, like we said, we're still early on, but that's just something that we're kind of, like, cautious for right now. We don't know if gear comes later on down the road, like, further in the game. We're still in the beginning of the game, I'd say. So, I mean, that's just something we're kind of cautious about.
Missions are pretty fun. I mean, they all are a little similar, but not too similar that it bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think
mostly I'll just go there, kill this.
I think the gameplay is so fun, like, that it makes the missions good, even if there isn't, like, much variety. Like, fighting different enemy types starting out, and just the way combat is in this game, I think it makes it good. Like, it doesn't take away from the missions, is what I'm saying. Like, because the gameplay is so fun.
So, and I've had a chance to free roam a little gone. And free roaming is fun. Like just running around, opening chests, going into dungeons, getting loot is great. And I've seen the roadmap, and they have a lot of free roam stuff going on the roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be fun to do.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's good. That's good for sure. Because I haven't got a chance to hop into free roam yet, so that's another good sign. That's another good sign. See, in my opinion on the missions is there is one thing though is I will say like early on, like or not too early on, you know, like now we're starting to get deeper and deeper into it. I think we are level 10, 12 range, right? Isn't that what level we are?
My gear level is about 150.
Yeah. So, you know, that's about how far we are. And I will say one thing that the missions, like, are kind of starting to get a little repetitive, like, at the point where it's, like, you notice it's kind of the same formula. But like I said, like, I just think the gameplay's so fun that it doesn't bother me. That's where I stand on it right now. Like, I'm just having a good time. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, and figuring out the combo system has been fun between me and you and Nubs. Just comboing everything.
Yeah, I'm starting to be able to get into our abilities and our gear a little more now that we're getting higher leveled, and that is one thing I like, and I do want to talk about that is the abilities in this game. There are so many different abilities, and they all feel great, and I think that is a major like distinction to this game compared to a game like. Well, of course, I'm going to say Destiny, but I was going to say The Division. But, I mean, the way The Division 2 is, I'm not going to say that right now because The Division 2 looks like it has some pretty cool abilities, whereas the Division 1s were more kind of boring, if you ask me. But yeah, like, I think that's a major, like, thing that BioWare has going on in Anthem that other games don't. And it's action-packed, like, third-person, like, multiplayer looter shooter like this, like in a style where it's more MMO-y, kind of like the Division and kind of like the Division and Destiny, and I think it does it really well. It's cool. I like the abilities.
Yeah.
And there's so many to choose from, you know, like. I mean, I wouldn't say so many because I mean, now we're getting to the point where we're getting a lot of recycled old ones because. You don't actually, there won't be any new abilities like when we reach the max level. We're just going to be getting the same recycled ones, but still experiencing better perks and whatnot. Yeah, but still experiencing all the different ones I think is a awesome thing. Like I think they all play differently.
Yeah, especially since they have different, like some are detonators and some are primaries and whatnot, and mixing and matching those.
See, and one thing that we probably should point out there is we are both playing Storms. So I don't know if that has any effect on our decision or our bias against that because we haven't played the other, you know, Javelins yet. We haven't like got into their abilities. We don't know if they're lacking. We're both playing Storm right now because the Storm is so badass. We both played Storm in beta and just loved it, so we just kind of stuck with them.
Well, Nubs is playing
an Interceptor.
He's playing an Interceptor. Yeah. He's liking it. He tried the Colossus and didn't like it at all.
Yeah, but I don't think Nubs knew how to play the Colossus though. Like that's one thing about it because I noticed it took me because when I first played the beta on PC I played a Storm and then the second time I chose to play Colossus because you could only choose one different Javelin in the beta or demo whatever they want to call it, and I chose the Colossus and it took me a while to come around because I didn't like him at first, but I really came around to the Colossus like once I learned how to play him a little better. Like, you got to constantly just, like, have your shield out. And it's a big gameplay change compared to the other three, I think. Like, it's big change. Like, it's more passively and, like, defensively. You got to play the Colossus. Just because you always have to have your shield out. Like, you can still use your abilities and you're still, like, you know, you got heavy firepower as well. But you just kind of have to balance that with, you know, the shield usage.
Pretty much about it for our first impressions. Like, we'll obviously talk more about the game once we get to end game and what we think of that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some updates. We're going to be covering this game. I mean, and I feel like it's good because it's coming from like a more, I would say, casual standing point right now because like all the videos that I've been watching on this game be coming from like hardcore, big YouTubers who have nothing to do but play these games all day, every day. Like we've been working. We didn't play the game till Saturday. Just yesterday is when we got it, and
I'm playing the game super hardcore because we got a lot of other things to do.
Yep. Balancing it with making videos and everything. So this is gonna be coming from a more casual standpoint, and maybe that'll be different enough to make it interesting. So I guess with that being said, it's the end of the video.
Please leave a like, subscribe, click that motherfucking bell.
Fucking ring it. And thank you guys. See you.